Hello and welcome. Isabella Greene here with my video blog, and today I would like to share with you what it is like to have a multidimensional brain that can process multiple realities at the same time. Obviously, I only speak from my own experiences based on what I presently know. What I presently know and understand is as we evolve and as we grow, as we go through upgrades over and over, our hardware, meaning our vessel, our body, our brains get upgraded as well. And you arrive at a place where all of a sudden you notice that you're capable of processing various timelines, various lifetimes, parallel incarnations, and cosmic reality all at the same time. And it surely does get really fascinating. The most important thing here is to remember which one you are really anchored in. So that we can continue operating in this quote-unquote reality. So how does it happen? I do extensive meditative practice, and the purpose of that practice at this time of my life is to have what's called mystical experiences. What I mean by that, mystical experiences meaning going places outside of my immediate reality, going, experiencing different timelines, lifetimes, incarnations, places, planets, going through space, experiencing myself as source, plane, and multiple realities. That's as simple as that. Sometimes really miraculous things happen, and sometimes I kick into the state of being where my physical vessel is actually capable of processing all of that at the same time. Obviously not all of it, because processing all of it at the same time is not possible for me at the moment. I don't know if it's possible for anyone at all, but let's just say 4 or 5 things that are happening simultaneously in different realities, and my brain and my body is capable of experiencing the sensations, the thoughts, the thought forms, and the state of being of my energy playing on different timelines and different places and different incarnations. For me to tell you about it, I have to linearize them and tell one story at a time, or one timeline at a time. However, when I am sitting in the middle of these experiences, I'm observing. There's also an observer, so I'm observing that my body and my mind and my brain are all capable of having all of these experiences simultaneously. And this is what I call having a multidimensional mind and a multidimensional brain. For example, I'd be sitting in a meditation, and I have awareness of my physical form here in Sedona, in my room, in a specific state of consciousness, and then at the same time I'm experiencing myself on the battlefield in medieval times with a sword, and I'm in a male form, and I'm in the middle of a battle covered in blood, and there's all this war going on. At the same time, I'm seeing myself walking into a temple with a spear in my back, and I know that it's a completely different reality, and I am going into that temple to just basically to pass on, and I see the windows, I see the place in such detail as if I'm actually there in the physical, and my brain is processing 1, 2, now the third one right now, and then I'm observing myself, feeling myself departing from the body in that specific incarnation. Meanwhile, I am experiencing myself flying through space and quantum travel, which happens instantaneously, so you really don't have that time, between one place and the next, but that instant, it gets registered by the mind, and that instant feels like you just flew through a tunnel of stars, bam, and so you are all of a sudden, or I am all of a sudden, simultaneously, as I'm on the battlefield and dying in a different place completely, and then sitting in Sedona, and also I'm let's say on a spacecraft interacting with specific life forms or thought forms of other beings who are on that craft as well, like a mothership. And so I'm sometimes capable of interacting with a number of species, the cosmic species at the same time, and also being able to relate. Let's say I'm seeing a Pleiadian collective and feeling what it is to be those beings, and feeling the sense of love and the sense of oneness and the sense of interaction with them, meanwhile still feeling and processing the other timelines that are happening simultaneously. So this is an example of having a multidimensional brain. Then you come back from that, and you notice that only like 15 minutes went by on your clock, or the opposite effect, like 5 hours went by and it felt like an instant, where you all of a sudden had that download of all of these realities that are happening. Are they really happening? Well, Source is just playing itself in many different forms, in many different experiences, in many different what we call places and states of being, what we call timelines. But all it is just experiences, just potentials in the quantum field that Source is experiencing itself as. And so when you tap into that space, you just Source. You just experiencing yourself in all these things. But the fascinating part is that your brain becomes capable of seeing all that at the same time. Sometimes I'm capable of seeing that in my so-called waking time, but my filters are strong, and I prefer to focus on one timeline. I don't like walking around, thinking I'm on the battlefield while I'm in the grocery store. So I keep, it's a choice. I keep myself focused in this reality, or whatever I am perceiving as this reality, so in this physical form, so I can operate better from this vessel in this timeline. Something I wanted to share is what happened just recently as far as interacting with Source. I was having an experience through the pyramids, and I will put the link to in the comments section here in the video, through the pyramids, through the ancient technology that is being now created here on Earth, which takes me into these multidimensional spaces right away. I don't really have to sit and breathe and do anything at all. Within the first 3 minutes, my Kundalini moves, or even 3 seconds sometimes. My Kundalini moves, and I'm gone. And I'm starting to have those multiple experiences at the same time, or one by one, depending on how focused I choose to be on which one of them. But the most recent and the most fascinating one was after I went through a number of other experiences. I experienced myself as going through a black hole or a wormhole. It was a completely black space. I've never seen blackness that dark, and just the sensation of movement. And then I started observing, obviously you dissolve completely. You're no longer in any form or shape or state of being. You're just that blackness. And I started observing the process of expansion. And it looked like cells. When cells expand and grow and become matter. So I was seeing that process from the cells expanded at tremendous speed, just collapsing and then expanding, collapsing and expanding, and then everything else in the universe, in the multiverse, doing exactly the same thing, just collapsing and expanded with tremendous amount of speed. It was like it was happening so fast. And then at the end, well, there's no really end to that, right? Because it's happening simultaneously. I'm seeing the cells and I'm seeing everything else at the same time, and the universes, the same exact process, collapsing and expanding, collapsing and expanding in the super dark space. That was absolutely fascinating and breathtaking. And wow, yeah. So I just saw that. That was exciting. Well, this is all I wanted to share with you now on the multidimensional. I'm so excited I can do this speak on the multidimensional brain. As you continue your practice, for me it worked through meditations. I am capable of operating my physical form, as in speaking, simultaneously as I'm having these parallel experiences. I believe that this is due to me practicing and doing my healing work. I do healing work outside of my body, with my energy forms versus my physical form. So I'm practiced enough to be able to actually say some things. It's very difficult to speak from that space when you're observing expansion of universes and creations of the world. It's hard to speak in physical form, but I'm capable of operating my vessel from out there, or from that space, to speak and make minimal movements. Like if I want to lay my body down, or if I want to move my hand, I'm capable of doing that. So that also, I think, is a part of having access to parts of the brain that can operate on many levels at the same time. And it happens with practice. Meditative practice, focused interest, focused passion, focused desire to have these experiences. That's what drives me, and that's what gives me these experiences. And if you're interested in having the same, I wish you all the best, and just continue practicing and continue asking for it, and you'll get it. Love and blessings. Namaste.